Welcome back to another Beyond Awesome, where we talk to Beyond Awesome people. We talk about Beyond Awesome topics. Really pumped about today. Emilio, I'll get to you in 1 second, but I always got to say, hey, Heather, how are you today?
You stole my line. Hey, Jason, how are you doing?
You know I have to keep you on your toes. That's the reason I do that. No, I'm doing fantastic. It's Friday. The sun's out. I'm going to a soccer tournament this weekend. Things are good. But this isn't about me. It's about Emilio. So, Emilio, thanks for joining us today, man. How are you?
I'm very well. Good morning, Jason and Heather.
Yeah, we're really pumped to have you on today. So I'm just going to pass it over to you, Emilio. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Who are you? What do you do? What do you like to do for fun? Just tell us a little bit about yourself.
A little bit about myself. I'm Spaniard Friday evening, thinking of the weekend already. But a bit more than that. A father of two, Spaniard, as I said, born and raised in beautiful Barcelona. Spent a number of years in Madrid, in the capital of Spain, and something like 11 years ago decided to move away from Spain, which is not that usual for Spaniard, and it's been already like 11 years here in France. That's personally. Professionally, I've been in IT many years, too many to be said here. But probably 25. Keep the secret. In different segments.
Heather, keep that to yourself.
I won't tell anybody.
In fact, I started at the age of 10. So, like 25 years in high tech, in IT, different segments. Started in networking, moved into the telecommunications sector. Then, big part of my career in security. With a break before joining Bitdefender, between Fortinet and Bitdefender for a number of years in the cloud and scale-out storage market. Started in the channel, started in a distributor many years ago, followed up in a reseller. I think that was the channel, good learning, good school. And then in a number of vendors, and since 1 year already, so time goes fast, here at Bitdefender.
I totally agree. 1 year here feels like 5 somewhere else in a good way. So, okay, I got a couple fun questions for you, and then Heather always asks some really awesome questions. So you do not have to tell her they're great questions. She knows already. So my first question to you is, what's your favorite movie of all time?
My favorite movie of all time. I was not prepared for that one. So give me a few seconds. What's the second question?
Yeah, what we'll do is we'll tell
the movie.
Yeah, we'll tell them ours real quick, and then so while you're thinking about it. So Heather, what was yours again?
Shaun of the Dead.
Nice, and mine's right there, Emilio. Christmas Vacation.
Don't forget to be awesome. I'm gonna take yours.
Okay, awesome. That's all good. Here's another one that I started asking recently. What would you be doing if you weren't in IT?
I would be a singer. So
nice.
So good question. That's even better than the first one, which was good already.
You hear that, Heather?
I did.
I don't know. I think that as many other people, I started my career in sales by chance, right? But I got to like it and to live it very early. And I think that almost by chance, I jumped into a management position very early in my career, and I got to like it and to live it. And then afterwards, the only thing that I didn't come by chance, probably, it was a tough decision, but I decided to try and become a leader, right? A sales leader, right? And this is what we try to do day by day.
Yeah, we try to be better every single day. I agree, Emilio. All right, the last one I got, and then I'll pass it over to Heather for some real questions. Well, these are real, but what's the thing that you love the most about Bitdefender? Like if someone came up on the street and said, why do you work there and why do you have such a great time, or why do you like working there? Like what would your answer be?
So I could tell you many things.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bunch of things. It is the market. It is the technology. It is the business opportunity. But on top of all of that and many more things, I would say there is the people. I would say it's the people, and both the many smart people, and there are many people. I would say all of us that want to make the difference, right? That want to scale the business, wants to catch that big business opportunity, and as we're doing already, making Bitdefender fly higher, right? So what I like the most is the people, you both included.
Oh, thank you so much.
Aw, so
I
sweet.
appreciate that. Yeah, I would say, there's this old saying, right? If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. I'm never in the wrong room at Bitdefender. I'll just be clear on that. I'm always in the right room because there's always somebody that brings something that I do not. And that's what makes me so excited. All right, Heather, do you have yours ready to go?
I think I do.
Okay,
So
go for it.
my first question is going to be around building relationships and teams. So me and you actually have a similar background, both coming from distribution. And I think that gives you sort of a different view in how to manage the relationships in the channel. So what is your approach to managing channel relationships that other either partners or even the distributors or vendors could use?
That's a very interesting one.
Oh, you got interesting that time.
That's a very interesting one. I think that the basics of our business and the basics of our business with the channel, either it's selling with them, through them, with them, are the same across the board in all the countries. I've been meeting in my career many VARs, many systems integrators, many distributors in many countries, especially in here in Europe, in the Middle East, and in Asia Pac as well. And I don't find differences on what people are looking for in terms of business. At the same time, the way of doing business is very different per country, right? We sometimes make the big difference between EMEA and the Americas or the US, but at the end it's country by country, right? And the way of doing business, the way of interacting, of building up those relationships is different. But the common thing to me across the board is that what people are looking for in business is to be able to trust and to avoid surprises, right? The worst that can happen to you when doing business, in my opinion, is to have surprises. You want to have things under control, right? There is complicated, demanding customers, all good. There is tough competition when you're partnering. What you're looking for is not to waste your time and being able to co-work with people, even if it's a different company, on whom you can trust. So getting back to your question, I think that the most important everywhere across the board is to be able to build that trust, and that takes time. That is day after day, many days, and you always have, again, in my opinion, you always have to take into account that building up trust takes a long time, but you can lose it in 1 single second. So it's a day by day type of job, but it works the same way down in Dubai or up in Finland. Right?
I was just gonna say that it takes years sometimes to build trust, but you could lose it in 1 day, one conversation, one situation, if you go back on what you say. But to add what you said, Emilio, I think you nailed it, right? It's the trust is what the whole foundation is, being genuine with your partners and caring about their success. And you put that stuff together, and you and I look at it very similarly. So I love that.
So my follow-up to that is going to be around how you build your teams in an international market. So how do you find people or determine what people are, I guess, able to support the business, but also gain trust and accountability for each region, especially where they're able to kind of adapt to multiple needs across countries?
That's even more interesting question, right? That's even more interesting question. A number of things as well. A number of things. I think that it starts by having the very difficult thing, which is having a common a common purpose, right? A common goal. We all are looking for a clear strategy, a clear operational plan, and having it clearly communicated, having gathered feedbacks before, it's important. But to me, it's even more important having the team on board with that common purpose, right? That takes time. That takes probably over communication, but I think it's the foundation, right? Then we've been speaking already for a few minutes about trust, and I think that having a team where people trust each other, right? Not only trusting to your manager because he or she is going to meet the commitments, but where people are trusting each other, where people feel safe, so that they can speak up, right? Where they can feel safe and they can try things and they can make mistakes, and they're going to get feedback, but nobody's going to be blaming on them because they tried something, right? This is when our teams, this is when everybody can grow up and can give the most of what you're looking for, right? The most that they can deliver. That is a continuous job. That is day by day by day, right? And it starts by communicating. And I'm a fan of something that is very difficult, which is continuous feedback. Some feedback conversations seem to be like difficult, but I think that when the team gets into that dynamic of giving continuous and bi-directional feedback, right, in the right way at the right moment, that is something very important. So now I get back to your question: a common purpose where people feel safe and trust each other, so that they don't have to build up their own kingdom. They share with the rest. They help each other. They try new things. They are not afraid of making mistakes. Again, the way of communicating is somehow different per country, and there are big differences all across EMEA. But I think that those basics apply everywhere.
I agree, Emilio, and I think that you nailed on something that we haven't really talked about on this in the past, Heather, is giving feedback to people, even negative or positive, is an okay thing. And if you look at your family, do you ever disagree with your family ever? Ever? Does everybody just get along all the time? No. And the people you care about the most, like people say in a relationship, oh, we've been together 3 months, we never fight. Well, that's not a relationship yet. Let us know after the first fight and if you come out the other side. And what I always tell people is, if you can go into a foxhole with someone and really get into it with them and come out the other side as friends, you're stronger than you when you went in. It's just this, there's nothing better than that. And I love that, because the trust, the trust, the foundation. And the other thing on my team, Emilio, is, and I know you do it on your team as well, I'm hearing from you for right now about it, but I always tell them to challenge me constantly. And what I would say is, I'm a very strongly opinionated person. I don't know if this shocks either one of you guys, but I'm open to change. And I think that I've been able to flourish here at Bitdefender, and I think a lot of us as leaders, but also anybody at Bitdefender, like you said, you're encouraged to push back. Heather, you pushed back on me about an hour ago. It's like every single day, right? So, but that's what keeps it going. And what I was on my team the other day, Emilio, and I won't make it too long, but we were trying to figure out a pricing situation for a bundle for a certain partner, right? I won't get into all the details, but I had my entire leadership team on there, and I said, I know what I want to do, but I'm going to be quiet. And I want you guys to throw out every crazy idea you can think of. And guess what? They came up with an idea that I didn't think about. 10 brains are better than one, right? So
absolutely,
that's my feedback. But I love that, Emilio, because we haven't really talked about that on here. So that's great. I like it when it's unique.
Yeah, one thing I guess I'll add to yours from when you talked about goal setting. I think one thing that a lot of people, and I hate to say get wrong, but they give people goals versus asking what somebody can contribute. Because I know in my experience managing teams, anytime I've asked, the numbers I got back were always higher than what the original goal I would have set was anyway. But you have their complete buy-in from that point forward. How do you approach goal setting with your team?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that one of the best ways is to ask for feedback, but
Mhm.
not after you have given them, but before.
Yes,
Right.
exactly.
If you tell me that my quota is 3 million, and then you tell me, what do you think? By the way, 3 million.
Yeah, just curious.
Well, just curious, right? Who cares, right? But if I ask you,
We have both
well,
had
look,
that before, I guarantee it, right, Emilio?
exactly. But if I ask you, hey, what do you think that your target should be this year? And I'm talking about a sales quota, but it can be any type of goal, objective, KPIs. I think that seriously speaking, it has to start first by getting feedback, right?
Mhm.
And trying to get an agreement on what it is achievable, what is the growth that you have to fight for, right? I think that is important, that bidirectional communication, as opposed to going with a number of objectives or goals or KPIs and then asking for opinion, right?
Yeah, I
Mhm.
like that. You're like, here it is. What do you think? Oh, you don't like it? Too bad. Oh, well.
Yeah.
Bad luck. Let's see next year, right?
Okay, my last question for you, and this one I think will be an easy one, is what do you think is the biggest opportunity for our partners this year? And then I'm done.
That's a very easy one. That's a very easy one. They have the business opportunity in the market. They know it. It can be with Bitdefender or some other vendors. But the difference with Bitdefender is the technology, the people, and our channel strategy. We are not looking at working with the whole of the channel. We continue to be more narrow than many other vendors, trying to have a two-way commitments with our channel where we can meet what we agree on, right? On the benefits that they can get out of Bitdefender. And I think that this continues to be our channel, our sales strategy. They are not going to be one more reseller partner in the middle of a big crowd with that vendor. We are not operating that way. You know, I would say they can still feel different with us, and we can still giving them the support and the protection that can make the difference. So technology, people in whom they can trust, and a narrow channel where they can be supported and protected.
Yeah, big fish in a small pond versus small fish in a big pond, right, Emilio? Like, you're going to get attention from us. You're going to be friends with us. That's what I tell people all the time when I meet a new partner relationship. We're friends now. Get over it. I mean, we're going to be talking all the time, right? So,
Absolutely.
no, I love that. I love that, Emilio. And I think that's great. And I think that, you know, we really do that every single day, right? We really care about our people. We don't want everybody in our family, but we want to help anybody that can be helped, right? And I think that with our technologies and our solutions, just like Emilio said, the differentiator with us, and I really think it comes down to this, is the trust and the genuine that we care about your business. And a lot of people, I'm a lot to take. I know that, right? I'm not shocked by that, right? But when I get to know someone and they actually get to understand and they feel, wait, this person actually cares about my success, not just their own, we can't fail, right? And it's been something I've been working with my entire career. But Emilio, thank you for today. It was awesome. I know it's end of day on a Friday in France. Yes, he's in France, so everybody can be jealous. Heather, thank you so much for your time and effort in making this thing happen. We appreciate it more than you know. And thank you everybody else for taking the time to listen, watch, however you're consuming it. If you're awesome, if you think you're beyond awesome, you probably are. You took the time to watch this. Reach out to Heather and I. We'd love to have you on. Go out and do something positive. Make yourself smile. Make someone else smile. Thanks, guys. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.